Hello there, today I'm going to go through my perfect game. So this is a blitz game I played against a 1500 rated opponent where I am 1556. I got an accuracy of 94.7 and they also played pretty well. They got an accuracy of 86. I had one brilliant move, 3 great, 45 best, 3 excellent, 4 good, 5 book, 2 inaccuracies, 1 mistake, and 1 miss. The miss might have or might not have been because of a misclick, but I guess you'll find out later. My opponent also played pretty well. They got 42 best moves, 1 great, 2 inaccuracies, 2 mistakes, 1 miss, 1 blunder. So yeah, the game I got an estimation of 2200 and they got an estimation of 1900, which is very good. We clearly played above our levels. So let's get into the game. So the game started with the d4 for my opponents. I played d5, they played c4, I played e6, going into a queen's gambit declined. They play knight f3, I played knight f6, they played knight c6, I played bishop e7. Very safe, very non-offensive, but usually when my opponent plays queen's gambit, this is the very passive opening I feel comfortable playing. They played queen c2, I castled. They played e4, which is an inaccuracy. It's not a terrible inaccuracy. I can see the point with the move. If I take, he takes, and if I take back, he takes with the queen, then he has a lot of central control, whilst I am very passive. But the computer says it's an inaccuracy, so it's clearly an inaccuracy. I took, they took, and here I went c5, which was my first inaccuracy of the game. Here I was supposed to take the knight. And once they take back, I should have played c5. So this would have been way more accurate, but I decided to play c5 right away, which is a slight mistake because now they should have taken the knight and then taken the pawn apparently. But they take the pawn, I take the knight, they take with the queen, and I take the pawn. I should have played f5, but taking the pawn is obviously the most human and reasonable move. They went bishop d3, and I want f5 here. Yes, preventing the checkmate, of course, and also winning a tempo on the queen, taking some central control at the same time, opening up for the rook with potential rook lifts. A very nice and natural move. They went back, which was an inaccuracy. They were supposed to plant the queen in here, and I went knight c6, which is my first and only mistake of the game. I was supposed to play the move e5, gambiting a pawn. However, if they take, I have this massive pin of death, which will be very annoying to deal with for my opponent. So here I played knight c6, which was a mistake. They castled, and now I went e4, e5. But the point is, if they take this, I can take, and once they take this, then I can take the bishop. So that was kind of what I was calculating, and I figured I would probably be slightly better there. They took, I took, they took, but now I found a very nice in-between move, which apparently is a brilliant. I don't think it deserves to be a brilliant move, but apparently it is. Just winning a pawn, because if I just take this, he will take my bishop with his queen, and then I will only have lost a pawn in that position. However, if I take this, I win the pawn back, and once he takes, as he did, then I can take the bishop. And here, he's slightly better at plus 0.4. Here he played bishop g5, I played a5. I could have just taken a free pawn here. The reason I didn't take the pawn was because I was kind of scared of this rook coming in. And if I take, for example, then they can get the rook here and they're having some serious pressure on this side of the board. However, I have rook f7, just defending everything and being completely okay. However, I thought this was kind of scary, so I decided not to take the pawn and rather went a5 with the intention of getting the rook in, because now if I move the bishop, here it can't move of course because the queen has takes, and if I move here I figured the bishop would probably just become a target in the near future and it doesn't belong on that square. So I played a5 trying to bring the rook out the other way. Oops, sorry about that. Oh, oops, kinda spoiled everything. I played a5 with the intention of bringing the rook in. They played b3 as defending the pawn. I went rook a6. They went rook e1. I went queen e4 trying to trade. They checked and I took. They went rook there. I went bishop here. They went there. And now I found a very high level move, a very good move, which I'm very proud of. Can you figure out what it is? It's the move a4. It's a very nice positional move, I think. Point is, if it takes, that's just a bad move because I take, and I simply think I'm just pretty good here. Yeah, I mean, it's still a draw, but his pawns gets bad, and my pawn is protected by the bishop. So I think if anybody's playing for winning chances here, it's probably me. And if he doesn't take, then I'm threatening to take. He cannot take back with the pawn, so once he takes back with the rook, then I will actually just take this pawn. And I have some nice pressure on this pawn at the end. And that's actually what happened. So I went a4, he took this pawn actually, I took, he took with the rook, I went there, he went there, and now I am winning the pawn. And here I actually spotted a pretty nice tactic that actually played out in the game. He went here, now I took, and now he took. And here, actually here I found the tactic. Once I take, he must trade the rooks. He has no other choice. He must go into the endgame where I am up a pawn. Actually, because the reason why I'm saying this is because if he just decides to take the pawn, as he did, that's a massive blunder. Do you see why it's a massive blunder? Because of rook a1, check. The king is forced to go here, only square, and then we have this move, rook f1, check, with the fork. I'm going to win the rook and win the game. This is what happened. And now he went king f2, so this should just be a clean win for me, right? Nope. Nope. I'm not proud of this one. I accidentally went to g1. I misclicked. I was supposed to go to f1, of course, obviously. And I just blundered a rook in one move, and here I'm completely losing. I don't have any compensation for the clean blunder of a rook. However, and yeah, this ain't good. However, my opponent didn't take. My opponent went rook c5. And honestly, it wasn't a mistake from my opponents. They were actually just being nice. I wrote in the chat thank you, and they said, yeah, I know you were supposed to go to f1. So very sportsmanlike for my opponent. Thank you very much. Much love to this Aberk9 guy. And here there's only one way for me to get out of this, because if you just move the rook, of course, then he will just win the bishop. And if we move the bishop, he will just take the rook. There's only one move we can make here that gets us out of this trouble where we're potentially losing a piece. And that is check. We must play this move, and once we move, we must get away with the bishop. So that's what's happened. They went here, attacking my bishop, so I decided to go rook f7, offering the trade of the rooks, pretty much forcing the trade of the rooks. There's not, or the trade of the bishops. He decided to trade the bishops. He took, I took, and now we're just in a completely drawing endgame. However, some pretty exciting stuff happened later on, which I will show you. So this is just a standard endgame. I'm a 1700 rapid, so I should know this stuff. I believe this guy is probably pretty highly rapid as well. I don't remember though. I went king f7, just bringing the king into the game. They went rook e4, rook here, take them pawn to the side of the board. Check, I brought the king up, he went there, so I went over pawn, he pushed, I went here, just keeping an eye on the pawns. He went h4, I went h5, forcing the king to leave and go back. I went rook a1, just controlling the rank. They went rook e4, I brought the king in, they checked, I went back, they went there, I went rook a3, rook there, here, there, and now I played g5, which is pretty committal, might look a little scary, because he has some checks here which he played. Once I go here, And here it's really necessary, because if I just move the king over here, here, or somewhere, then he will just take the pawn. And then I'm actually just losing. Let's say I move here. Oh, actually, no, I'm not actually losing. There's still a draw, but however, I would have some trouble if I played it incorrectly from there. So I went here, of course, attacking the rook at the same time, so he can't take this because I will take the rook, of course. He went there, and now I went check. It might look like I'm losing this pawn. I can't defend it with the rook. However, in the next sequence of moves, you'll find out I actually can. You want king g2, I just made some checks, offering a petrol. However, he didn't want it. So now I found the nice move rook a3. The reason this is a good move is because once he went back, then I can go check. Once you go there, then I go back. And now I'm defending the pawn, and my king is pretty active. However, this is still, of course, a complete draw. But if someone is playing for winning chances, if the other person blunders, it's me, because my king is very active, whilst his is stuck in the corner of the board, and his rook is just staring into nothing, because that's protected. He went there, so restricting my king. I went there, check. We just made some unnecessary moves, and now my opponent blunders massively. They take the pawn. And now I'm just minus 28.3. There's completely winning for me. There's no way I lose this. And why? Because I simply take the pawn. And I threaten the checkmate. My opponent can escape the checkmate. However, yeah, I will just bring my king to the side, go up with a pawn, promote it, and make a queen. And there's nothing my opponent can do. Even if they try to stop it. Let's go here. Say they just go... They try to put... Oh, oops. They try to push. It's a mate in 33. And then I just check. If they leave, then I just check. Have to trade. And then, of course, I just take the pawn and win the game. But my opponent decided to go there, and now it's just a checkmate in one, of course. And I win the game. A very chaotic yet very well played game by both of us. I blundered a rook by a misclick. However, I also find a brilliant move. I played the endgame very, very well. So did my opponents until they blundered. So I'm very proud of this game. So I guess that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you would like to. And I will see you in the next one, I guess. Peace out.